In this video, we're gonna fix another broken PS Vita that I bought off of eBay. Let's see if I can fix it. All right, got a PlayStation Portable. I believe it's the first generation with the OLED screen. That was very good. Came with the charger. These first model, I think they're 1000, have a proprietary charger. They didn't use micro USB. A little bit expensive nowadays to get one of those, so to have the seller provide it, it's a bonus. All right, overall conditions, very worn out. I think it's got thumb issues. I'm not 100% sure. I bought this a minute ago. Just kind of giving a quick look. Charging, you know what, let's go ahead and try that out. I have this here. It should turn on the PlayStation logo. Yeah, that. So it is charging. Let's go ahead and turn it on. So far, so good. All right, seems like it's completely, oh, look at that. Look at that. It's got serious drift. If I hold it, let go, look at that. It's moving on its own. Could be the stick. The stick feels kind of awkward. Could be these thumb D-pads here. When I touch it, they feel kind of sticky, like maybe a Coke or soda or something fell on them. Touch works. So, all right, let's go ahead and open it up. Let's go ahead, get a size 00 Phillips. All right, let's go ahead and pry this open. Put my screws here to the side. I'm just gonna find me a little spot there where I can start prying this off. All right, once it's off, be careful. We have the battery and the touch part of this back port on this type of PS Vita. The battery and this touch part in the back is connected. So let's go ahead and pry this off. Take the battery off first. I'm gonna do a quick little inspection here. Zoom in. Let's see if anything's showing up weird. This just got moved. A little worn out, nothing serious. This is interesting. I believe, and I probably can double check once I actually get the system on. I believe this is a 3G unit. These PSP Vitas. This looks like an antenna cable going into this, and this could be a AT&T, I believe, here in the US offered 3G, not 4G, 3G internet, and this might be the Wi-Fi / 3G modem card. Could be. All right, so let's go ahead. The issue was with the left side, so let's go ahead and take out this board and see what that thumbstick looks like. So let's go ahead and work on that. Should take a look at this. Look at that. Yeah, with a 3G chip reader. And I bet you this says AT&T on it. Look at that. Yeah, it's a 3G model. That's nice. And what I like to do here is I like to, when I start taking apart these things, I like to just kind of put them in the same position that I took them off. It just makes life easier when I'm reassembling it to kind of know where everything's at. So I know screw sizes are the same, and Sony does a really good job on these Vitas that they make them one color. So you know, blue is for one size, pink is for another size, and so on. And they also, on the plate itself, these metal plates, these structural plates, if you look at it, it's got an M for the motherboard side and a number 2 here. Let's see if I can get to zoom in. So it's got an M for the motherboard side and a 2 for what would be, I guess, daughter board number 2, and I'm guessing this is daughter board 1. Just kind of orient it. But I like to put it here on my table so I know, you know, this goes here, that direction. Just kind of get easier for me once I'm putting it all back together. I don't confuse myself on what is what. Well, okay, right off the bat, I can tell it's never been opened, which is good. Got dust and just wear and tear from usage. So let's go ahead and come up. Get this out. 2 more screws right here, and then this should come out. All right, taking a look. We got some dirt, debris, gunk. This has been opened or worn out, but I think I can get up in there and clean it. Let's go ahead. Open up these latches here. 2 latches on this end. 2 more on this end. 2 more here. And the final 2. So 2 on each side. Should allow me to remove this shield. And what I'm wanting to accomplish, I want to get up in there and look at the springs, see how everything's looking. All right, I'm gonna remove these springs. All right, let's take a closer look at the button. So just, it's an old device. It looks like I don't see anything broken. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. So what I'm gonna do is spray it down real quick with some contact cleaner. Okay, I got some electronic contact cleaner here. I'm just gonna kind of give it a good little spray on all ends. Just a good little spray. It's really damp. It's really moist right now. And then I'm just gonna spray it down here. Let's zoom out here. All right, and then just want to get a little bit of IPA in here. Just clean a little bit of all this grime and dust and finger gunk and all sorts of nastiness that has accumulated here over the time. All right, I think I've given it a good enough cleaning. I'll show how to reassemble this piece here, and then we'll cut to it all assembled or partially assembled here just to see what's going on. So you want to line it up. Let's see here. Should have an exact way of lining up. All right, the easiest way to get this to line up, if you see here, it's got like a little design. Looks like a skateboard ramp upside down. And that line up with the ball here in the middle. And that will allow it to rotate. Oh. Almost forgot. You see how, rookie mistake here. You see how it's all over the place and it doesn't have any tension? Forgot to put in the the springs. Let's go ahead and take this off. I want to go clip by clip and just make sure they're behind their little plastic piece so that it's securely firm in place. Okay, all right, mechanically it looks fine. Visually, from what I can see, I gave it a cleaning. I think it was just given a bad contact internally, and that was causing that issue. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna partially put it back together so we can test this to see if this is working. If not, I might need to hunt down this part and replace it. So I'm gonna cut to that. Okay, I got it more or less without the screws assembled. I took off this piece because it's a little bit torn up. I'm gonna see if I can kind of melt it back to where it needs to be. Okay, we still got power. So I've only focused on the left side. I didn't touch the right side. I don't think this side was the issue. I could be wrong. Could have issues with this or these buttons as well. I don't know yet. So okay, at least now this isn't going crazy and this isn't going crazy. So let's continue. Oh. All right. Let's all right, this makes me think. So this thumb pad, I don't think it's analog. All right, I don't think it's analog because the analog doesn't control the up and down in this menu. It's the D-pad. So I'm holding it up and okay, I think it's this. And I cleaned it, so it could be the board itself, but let me do an experiment here real quick. So I'm gonna power it off. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut to that. I'm gonna disconnect this from the board and see if it still does that issue. If it still does that issue, then I know it's this and it's not the analog. So I need to focus my attention on that. So let me do that. All right, so what I just did is just to eliminate a couple things here. I went ahead and I disconnected the ribbon cable. I'm not gonna take it off. I'm just disconnecting it from the logic board. So that will prove to me whether or not the issue is the analog stick or the issue is the D-pad. It's no longer working, it's just the D-pad. See what happens. Okay, D-pad, because this is not working at all, and it shouldn't work on this menu. So, all right, I know it's the D-pad. Let me get back to this part of the board and see what's going on. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I've disconnected a couple things. I disconnected the the rubber part, and just have exposed the contacts directly with the board. This part. And I've also removed the battery from the back part so I can just kind of test these things, because I'm going to be doing things back and forth, so I don't have to plug the whole part again. Reassemble the PS Vita again and again and again. So, that being said, let's go ahead. I got power. I have it partially assembled, but enough for it to boot. Should boot. Interesting, it's not turning on, and I think I know why. Okay, so I didn't think this would be an issue, but it's probably not turning on because I didn't hook up the modem. Okay, trial and error. So let's go ahead, disconnect the battery, power it on. Okay, yeah, needed that to turn on. Who would have thought? Okay. All right, so this explains, go back. Yeah, it's gone crazy. All right. So it's not physical. No one's touching it, and it's moving on its own. No one's touching these buttons, and it's moving. So maybe this board's damaged. I'd hate to think if I replace this piece and it's not this piece, it could be touch issues. Okay, a little ray of hope. Maybe it's something simpler. Let me focus on it. So, I don't know if you guys can tell. Zoom in even more. So you see how it's got this crustiness right here? It looks to me like there's some oxidation going on, maybe. Here. And this leads to this button, which is the PlayStation button. Maybe a little moisture got in there, and it's messing up this here with here. Don't know. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna give this a very thorough cleaning. I'm gonna clean this part, and I'm gonna kind of put it how it was Frankenstein like it is now, and see if the issue still persists. If the issue still persists, I'm thinking I'm gonna see about ordering this board. Shouldn't be too expensive. Granted, PS Vita hardware is getting rarer, so the components are getting a little bit more difficult to find. But first, let me see if I can clean this and see if that's a solution. Okay, let's give this another try. Did I forget to hook something up? Nope, got it all. Yeah, it was worth a shot. All right, I'm gonna figure out if there's anything else I can troubleshoot, but I don't think so. I think I'm gonna just have to order this part. So I'll cut to installing this new part, see if that's the solution, or if I discovered something else from then to this moment that could be the culprit. But I'm thinking it's just this daughter board is going out and it's causing the thumb pad portion of it to go crazy and do the scrolling thing, because the analog sticks are disconnected, and this analog stick doesn't pertain to this menu. And these buttons, so far, no issue. This is also disconnected, so I've got the trigger button disconnected. This trigger button doesn't pertain to this menu. This specific menu has to do with the D-pad or touch. And I'm leaning towards a D-pad's malfunction. Okay. Okay, I ended up ordering the part. Let's go ahead and open this up. So I have here a replacement daughter board for it'll be this side. So it'll be for the D-pad. So hopefully this will fix the problem. Let's open it up. Okay, I got it disassembled. Let me take a look, just see what we got here. So, all right, doing a quick comparison. I got the part I needed, but it's missing some components on it. So these metal brackets here are soldered on, and they're not on this one. So I'd have to desolder them off the bad board. One here, and one on the back. And it seems like these connect to into these holes here, which may have a function, may not have a function. What I want to do is, before I desolder anything off this board, let's see if this component, which doesn't require that stuff, functions. If this solves the touch part function, then I'll desolder these and put it on this to have this complete. So let me go ahead and assemble this back onto this to test the main issue. Okay, so far, so good. Okay. It's not the daughter board, something else. All right, let's take a look at this replacement. All right, hold on, let me see if I can zoom in and show. So what was causing the problem was this analog stick got hit up front here. See if I can show it. There we go. So it got hit in the top and it just completely deformed it, and I think internally it damaged a component in here that I just can't fix with cleaning. So unfortunately, I had no other choice. I had to order this part. One thing to note with the PS Vitas, parts are getting very rare and expensive. This was almost $40 for this analog stick. I mean, you got one of these Vitas, you can pick one up for 100 to 150 bucks. So, you know, start thinking about spending money on a part that costs, you know, well over 1/3 the cost of it. Definitely something to consider. They are getting harder to repair because of the parts are getting rarer, especially for the original OLED 1000 model. They're getting rare to get the parts for these devices. Something to think about. All right, let's put this all back together and test it out. Okay, moment of truth. Yeah, problem's been resolved. Let me go ahead and I'll get it all fixed, or go ahead and skip all this real quick, and then we'll see if I can play a game. All right, I got it running here. It is smoothly operating. This analog stick is working perfect. This stick, I don't know 100% yet. I'm gonna try it in the game. I did test real quick. Previous video, there was an issue. If the trigger buttons don't work, then you can't scroll down. This gets locked up. And this is working perfectly fine, and trigger buttons are working fine too, because I can go use them this way. So trigger buttons are working fine. These buttons are working fine. D-pad's working fine. This stick is brand new. It's working fine. This one was, I transferred it over here and it was working fine. So I'm gonna put a game on it here, and then I will test this just to see if this is working. But it should be fine. And let me go ahead and put that, button it all up. But this should be another fix. Well, there you have it. After trying multiple ways of figuring out what the fault was, it was the analog stick that needed to be replaced. Got that replaced, and now it's working. Remember, just because it's broken doesn't mean it's trash. See you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.